This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Breaking now at 5 o'clock, another violent night across the Circle City. The incidents police are now investigating that have left one person dead and 4 others hospitalized.
Plus, domestic violence impacts Hoosier families every day. This morning, the conversation being held to help curb that problem.
And the future of a historic Indiana city is up for auction. The event happening today that could reshape the popular Indiana town known for its charm. 5 o'clock here on your Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. You heard the sound. It's a Storm Team 6 alert day. Todd Clausen is with us this morning. Not the best news as we're inching closer to trick-or-treating.
No, I know. And the forecast even probably gets a little worse tomorrow than it will be here throughout the day today. Today, we're kind of just dealing with rain off and on throughout the day. And the wind will start to pick up a little bit. But tomorrow is the day when the winds get really strong and the temperatures start to tumble. But let's get you out the door on this Wednesday morning. Some pretty good rain making its way now into central Indiana. And this will be with us throughout the morning commute. As you see, even some snow up towards the Chicago area. And all this rain is going to be spreading towards central Indiana throughout the day. Now, it's not a solid rain all day long. If you think back to Saturday when it just kept raining and raining and raining and there was really no break until it came to an end. There will be some breaks off and on throughout the day today, but you always need to have that umbrella handy as these showers will move through at times throughout the entire day. Look at the temperature spread. 51 in Connersville, 40 in Lafayette, as well as Crawfordsville, 47 in Indy. Temperatures really don't do a whole lot throughout the day today, so we'll deal with showers off and on throughout the entire day with the temperature only getting up to right around 50 degrees with those breezy conditions. We'll talk more about your Halloween forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on traffic as you're heading out the door to kick off your Wednesday. And if you're heading in from the east side, you shouldn't have any problems here on the interstates. On I-70 westbound from Post Road to I-65 at the North Split, it's a 10-minute drive, so no delays there. Let's take a look right now down on the south side. Good morning to you here in Greenwood. This is I-65 near the Main Street exit. Traffic's picking up, but it's traveling up to speed. No issues to slow you down. We do want to get to some breaking news we've been following from overnight. More violence across the Circle City. This morning, Metro Police are investigating a homicide and 2 rounds of gunfire, leaving 4 people recovering from their injuries. The latest victim of gunfire was found around 11:30 last night on Braxton Court.
That's near 30th and Cumberland Road on the city's far east side. Police say a 19-year-old man sitting in a car was hit by bullets or car fragments in the shooting. The man was taken to the hospital in serious but stable condition. Authorities believe the man was shot elsewhere and drove to Braxton Court. This morning, what led up to that shooting remains under investigation. Also this morning, police are investigating after a man was found dead in his northeast side apartment.
Officers were called out to the apartment near 62nd and Allisonville Road. That was just before 10 o'clock last night. Police on the scene told RTV6 the 40-year-old man was suffering from some sort of trauma. Neighbors who lived near the apartment called police about a disturbance happening inside. Police say there's no signs of someone trying to break into the apartment. If you have any information about what may have led to that man's death, please call Crime Stoppers. And also this morning, we're working to learn the circumstances surrounding a triple shooting on the north side of Indianapolis. Officers were called out to Boulevard Place near Crown Hill Cemetery around 9:30 Tuesday night. Police say that someone fired shots into the back of a home from the alley, hitting 2 women and a man. According to Metro Police, the victims were taken to the hospital in stable condition.
New overnight, fire investigators are trying to figure out what started a fire on the city's east side. It started just before 1 this morning, just west of Brookside Drive and Rural Street. Officials on scene tell us there were no utilities running to the vacant home. Thankfully, no one was injured in that fire. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and 2 local organizations are working to change the conversation on the subject that can sometimes be uncomfortable for some. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning. Kelsey, what is the end goal for these groups?
Well, Meredith, their end goal is to change the way we, as a community, talk about domestic violence. Their goal is to make it an unstigmatized topic. Now, this panel was hosted last night right off the heels of a deadly domestic situation in Lawrence yesterday afternoon, where police say a man seriously injured his ex-wife in a shooting at a gas station. The suspect was later found by police and had taken his own life. The conversation was put together by Auntie Mame's Child Development Center and Indiana Healthy Marriage and Family Coalition. They want women, men, and children to know that domestic violence is a complex issue that affects everyone involved.
Because it doesn't just affect the abuser and the person that's abused. It affects the children. It affects their family. It affects the community. It affects employment. It just affects the community as a whole.
Their message to victims of domestic violence is it's okay to talk about your abuse with someone you trust. And if you don't have someone close to you that you can talk to, or if you need help getting out of an abusive relationship, you can reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Their number is 800-799-7233. You can also find help and resources on the Indiana Coalition Against Domestic Violence's website. We've got all that linked for you over on the RTV6 News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. The time right now is 5:06. An auction is happening today, and it could shape the future of this beloved Brown County town. A real estate liquidation sale is scheduled for 1 o'clock at the Brown County History Center in Nashville. Around 25 local shops will be on the auction block. That's about 1/3 of the businesses in downtown Nashville. They were all owned by one man. After he died, his kids decided to sell the properties.
The official beginning of the end will come today for a crime-ridden abandoned apartment complex on the northeast side. This morning, demolition will begin on the Oak Tree Apartments at 42nd and Post Road. The mayor and other city officials will be on hand for the start of demolition on the 19-acre property. It's been vacant due to a court order since 2014. The owners of the property recently lost an appeal of the demolition decision, which means it will go forward. Due to the size of the project, demolition is expected to take at least 6 months.
RTV6 is working to get a fix for this frustrated neighborhood for months now. Water has been streaming down Belmont Avenue on the southwest side, and residents say despite several calls to Citizens Energy and the Mayor's Action Center, no one has come to fix the problem. They say they're worried about infrastructure and the cost of all that water being wasted as some utilities consider raising rates. One mom says she kept trying to go through normal avenues to get it fixed, but got fed up.
It was about the 6th or 7th time that I called Citizens Energy Group, and I said, this is enough. I'm calling 6 for help because there's nothing that one person can do until they turn to the news. When you're the low man on the totem pole, no one cares about your words. It's only when someone who's higher up gets involved that something's actually done about problems.
Well, we took the concerns to Citizens Energy Group, and they say the issue was, quote, inadvertently marked low priority on the system, and that's why it hadn't been addressed before now. If you have a problem and you're not getting any answers, reach out to us and email us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. Here at 5:08, we do want to check in with Todd on this Storm Team 6 alert day. Hey, Todd.
Yeah, Lauren, we're in alert mode because more rain is heading our way here throughout the course of the day today. It's overspreading the area right now, so as you grab that cup of coffee, get this Wednesday going, grab the umbrella as well. You'll need it at some point here throughout the day today with temperatures that are sitting in the 40s throughout the duration of the morning drive, and you can see all this rain now starting to stream in. You do not have to worry about this, the snow. That's going to stay in the Chicago area back towards Peoria, but this rain is making its way now through Peru, Monticello, up into the Delphi area, then some lighter rain showers moving through Bloomington, Martinsville, and into Greenwood, and there's plenty more rain to come. So this rain is with us off and on throughout the entire day today. It's not a washout of a day. We're looking at fairly steady rainfall to start, and then it becomes more scattered as the day goes on, but always have that umbrella handy as these showers will stream through pretty quickly. We'll talk more about your Halloween forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thanks. A California school printed what they thought was the number to the National Suicide Hotline on student ID cards. After the break, the disturbing message they got when they dialed that number.
Tuberculosis kills thousands of people every day. Still add this morning, the medical breakthrough researchers say they have found to prevent some of those deaths.
And here's a live look right now up in Whitestown. Good morning to you. This is I-16-5 at State Road 334, where traffic looks to be traveling just fine this morning. The roads are open. We hope you have a smooth Wednesday morning commute. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Doctors performing abortions in Alabama don't have to worry about going to jail next month. A federal judge blocked the state's controversial bill that would have made almost all abortions illegal. Many states passed similar bans earlier this year. Alabama's would have been among the most restrictive because it would not allow exceptions for rape or incest. It also specified doctors who perform illegal abortions could be sentenced to life in prison. Many conservative lawmakers admitted before the bill was passed that they knew it would be blocked.
It is 5:13 and a North Carolina judge has granted a temporary injunction blocking the state's current congressional map from being used in the 2020 elections. The three-judge panel ruled this week that voters had a substantial likelihood of winning a lawsuit against accusing Republicans of partisan gerrymandering. The suit alleges the 2016 congressional districts were drawn with partisan intent in order to benefit Republicans. The rule could result in more competitive races in North Carolina's 2020 House elections.
A school district in Lancaster, California is apologizing for giving students the wrong number for a suicide prevention hotline. Instead, this is what students heard when they called that number.
Hey there, hot stuff. I've been waiting for your call.
You heard that right. The number connected them to an intimate line. The school district issued a news release, which in part says we were made aware that the middle school student ID cards have the wrong number listed for the suicide hotline. The phone numbers have 2 digits transposed, and this is a mistake. Parents say while the mistake could be funny, if not corrected, it could have serious consequences for a student needing help.
It does have a humorous undertone to it, but on the same aspect, if somebody really needed help and they called that number, I don't know what would happen. I mean, they have that number for a reason. And the fact that, you know, they call it and get this number, they'd hang up, obviously. And then what would they do?
If you or someone you know is struggling with thoughts of self-harm, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-TALK.
Chicago public school students will be out of class again today as the teachers' strike continues. Today marks 10 days that students have missed school since teachers went on strike. Negotiations between the city and the Chicago Teachers Union failed to reach a compromise after 16 hours at the bargaining table on Monday. A University of Illinois labor expert says the current strike is a continuation of the 2012 Chicago teacher strike.
In 2012, they introduced the idea that we should be bargaining around social justice issues, that we should bargain around class size, and we should bargain around staffing, because those things really impacted the learning environment. And I think any deal that they arrive at is going to have some kind of enforceable language. And if so, that would be a major advancement.
The current teacher strike is now the longest Chicago has had in nearly 30 years.
The Getty fire that has burned more than 600 acres and destroyed several homes was started by a eucalyptus tree limb that fell into power lines, sparking and igniting nearby brush. The initial flash was caught on dash cam video. The Los Angeles Fire Department had done tree and brush clearance in that area as recently as July in an effort to keep those power lines clean. This morning, the Getty fire is currently 15% contained. However, the area is under an extreme red flag warning this morning.
We're going to see maybe winds up gusts as much as 70 miles an hour. And as we've seen in Northern California and experienced in past fires here, those can pick up and transfer the fire miles away sometimes.
Out of extreme caution and concerns for more fires, power companies announced they may yet again have to shut off electricity for safety. And Lauren, I was telling you earlier, I have a girlfriend who lives in Southern California, and she texted me and just said, pray for us. We don't know what's going to happen. It's awfully scary, and things can change in just a matter of minutes. So yeah, very scary out there. Well, back here at home, it is a Storm Team 6 alert day.
Yes, and we want to check in with Todd Clausen as we get closer to Halloween. Todd, my mom was always one that made me really bundle up for Halloween, even if I thought it was going to be kind of warm out there. So this is one of those days that you're going to need to do that.
Yeah, tomorrow's the day, the Halloween, that you really need to bundle up. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be pretty nasty tomorrow evening. I will focus on that coming up in just a second. But this morning we're dealing with areas of rain, and that's why we're in alert mode. There's some dry hours mixed in throughout the day today. It's not a solid rain from start to finish, but it's a cool day. It's a breezy day as well, and overall just not a very pleasant day for us. Here's a live look at Storm Team 6 radar, and you can see that with northern locations, we're dealing with some showers right now from Monticello to Logansport over towards Peru. Everything's very light, and then there's some light rain showers starting to develop from Bloomington and back towards Terre Haute, but this extends all the way way back off to our west. So there's a lot of rainfall that's going to be coming our way at times throughout the day today. So have the umbrella handy. Notice on the cold side of things near Chicago back into central Illinois, we are dealing with some snow making its way through the area. You do not have to worry about the snow, though. That does not enter our forecast today. Tomorrow evening, there could be a few flakes across the area, but here we go throughout the morning commute, 6:30. Scattered showers across the area. It becomes a little more steady here by mid-morning with the rainfall. Not expecting any thunderstorms. That's the good news. It's just plain old rain for us, but throughout the afternoon hours, the rain is falling pretty good across the area, and then it kind of tapers off throughout the evening hours to just some spotty showers here and there with a little bit of patchy drizzle before the next round of rain comes in as we work our way into Halloween on Thursday. So today, temperatures really don't do a whole lot in our forecast. We'll be in the 40s throughout much of the day with the rain showers off and on. About 49, 50 degrees will be our high temperature, and that is just about it. Now, as we get into the day tomorrow, here's your Halloween planner. I'm going to break this down for you hour by hour. Notice the warmest part of the day is in the morning hours. We're in the 40s. As we work our way into the evening hours, and then eventually into the trick-or-treating hours, temperatures are in the 30s. Those are actual temperatures. Factor in the wind, which is this line here, and you notice as the temperatures fall, the wind picks up to about 20 to 25 miles per hour. That's sustained. Gusts could be up to about 30 miles per hour. That is going to put wind chills that are going to be down into the 20s. That's why you really need to bundle up. And as far as precipitation goes, rain through most of the day, but then we could bring in a few snow showers as things start to wrap up. In fact, the rain's probably a little more widespread tomorrow than it is during the day today. And then as that colder air comes in during the evening hours, we mix in a few snowflakes, not expecting any accumulation at this point. But nonetheless, we'll see our first flakes of the season. We'll also see our first freeze come Friday morning with temperatures for everybody that'll be in the 20s. The good news is the weekend features lots of sunshine.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning, and here's a live look up on the north side of town. We had a lot of delays in this area yesterday due to construction, but this morning here at I-465 and Ditch Road, everything is traveling up to speed. Let's take a look, though, right now at our traffic now map. Plan out your drive times heading in from the west side of town here on I-70, traveling eastbound from the area near the airport, Ronald Reagan Parkway, up to I-65 in the downtown area at the South Split. It is a 12-minute drive. Everything is traveling up to speed. Time now is 5:20. As tattoos become more popular, more shops are popping up. But a reminder this morning to stay safe and do your research first. Tattooing is not regulated by the federal government, and requirements for shops vary by city. Some don't ask shops to be licensed before opening up, and not all cities require artists to be certified. There's also concern for the cleanliness of the needles. The FDA says it doesn't have regulations because it considers tattooing cosmetic.
Tuberculosis kills more than 1 million people a year across the globe. And this morning, researchers are experimenting with a new adult vaccine they say is 50% effective. Right now, there is a TB vaccine for kids to prevent severe complications, but this is the first to work in adults. The CDC says most people infected with the lung disease in the U.S. either travel a lot or were born outside the country. It's most common in India. The World Health Organization says the vaccine is a major breakthrough and is working to further develop it.
Millions of Americans tune in to watch Alex Trebek every evening. Just after the break, the heartwarming surprise one man got from the game show host himself. It's 5:21. We'll be right back.
Ways to save and get smart.
I'll take game show hosts with hearts of gold for 1,000. The answer, who is Alex Trebek? The longtime Jeopardy host made a New York man with autism's day earlier this month. 32-year-old Michael Nieder has felt crushed since finding out Trebek has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. His mother wanted to connect the two, so she began by locating Trebek's son through the restaurant he owns. Then she followed up with a card she sent directly to the game show host asking him to call her son. Trebek received that card and rang Nieder, but he missed the call, so Trebek left a message. Nieder's mom still refused to give up. She called Trebek's son back and explained what happened. He texted Dad, and Trebek called and talked to Nieder for several minutes. Mom has some good investigative skills.
She does.
I
love that. Well, in the year after the devastating car wildfire, the Redding, California Fire Department welcomed 15 new babies. After hearing their story, actors Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard decided to give back to those parents. The couple who founded the company Hello Bello wanted to share their products. The pair announced each family of the 15 babies would get free products for a year on their site.
Such an oxytocin rush.
Yeah.
To hold all of them and smell out of all of them, and they're all so squishy, and they still have so much pudding.
Our kids now smell terrible like
yeah,
kids.
They kind of
they don't have any cute
They're getting the
smell.
stink. No, but these babies smell delicious.
Fresh, right out of the oven, these ones.
Well, they announced a 20% discount for all first responders nationwide. Gotta love that.
Oh, and look at all those little cuties
I know.
there.
So cute. Well, you may be thinking of dressing up your kids for Halloween, and you may want to buy the jacket.
A snowsuit,
maybe today, so you're prepared for tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't worry about snow as much as the cold temperatures. That's what you have to really worry about tomorrow. Today, though, we continue to deal with rain. Today is also Storm Team 6 alert day, as tomorrow will be as well. Rain overspreading the area right now, and there's plenty more off to our south and west. All this is streaming in our direction, so grab the umbrella as you start your Wednesday. You'll need it at some point here throughout the day today. And then, as we talked about, tomorrow becomes very, very wet and windy, 46, but that's early in the day. By the time we get to the trick-or-treating hours, we're talking about temperatures in the 30s. The weekend, though, will be sun-filled.
Todd, thank you. A must-have icon had to be removed because of its age. Ahead on Good Morning Indiana, why Dancing Ann is moving back into the Circle City just in time for Halloween. We'll be right back.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30 on Good Morning Indiana, a rash of violence across the city leaves 4 people injured and 1 person dead. The shooting incidents police are investigating across the Circle City.
And October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, how local organizations are working to help victims and change that conversation. But first, here on our Wednesday morning, we want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. The weather has certainly taken a shift here, and a lot of people are looking at tomorrow due to trick-or-treating and all the other Halloween events taking place. Meteorologist Todd Clausen standing by with what we can expect here over the next 48 hours or so.
Yeah, today we're dealing with rain off and on throughout the day, Meredith, and as we get to Halloween, we're dealing with rain, but we throw in another added element tomorrow, and that is very gusty winds, which are going to usher in much colder temperatures. So what do you need to grab before you go today? Do not need the sunglasses. Grab the umbrella. You'll need that. A light jacket, a rain jacket recommended here, as we're already dealing with some rain on Storm Team 6 radar here in central Indiana. You can see it streaming through the state. A little more steady up towards Peru, back towards Delphi in the Monticello area, and then more steady rain is making its way into the Shoals, Bedford area, Bloomington, Nashville. Light showers up in Greencastle, Greenwood, in and around the metro area, but there's a lot more rain off to our southwest, and this is all streaming to the northeast, and that's going to take it right through central Indiana. So we have periods of rain off and on throughout the day today. Rain gear is definitely needed. As far as temperatures today, we'll slowly climb out of the 40s where we are right now into the low 50s, but that is just about it. More on that Halloween forecast coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic, and here's a live look on the north side of town. This is I-465 and Westfield Boulevard. You can see down there, looks like traffic is traveling just about up to speed. No major issues to slow you down. So let's take a look at our traffic now map. This is over on the west side of town, I-74 traveling eastbound, a 7-minute commute through Brownsburg from State Road 267 to the I-465 ramps. No crashes or delays there. So let's take one more live look. This one is over on the east side of town, I-465 and East Washington Street. Traffic on the east side moving along up to speed, both northbound and southbound. We'll let you know if there are any crashes or delays.
We begin with breaking news from overnight. Metro Police investigating multiple acts of violence across the city.
Gunfire over here on the city's far east side sent a 19-year-old man to the hospital. This happened around 11:30 last night on Braxton Court, that's near 30th and Cumberland Road. Police say the man was sitting in his car when it was sprayed with bullets. That man was taken to the hospital in serious but stable condition. We're told investigators believe that he was shot somewhere else and then drove to Braxton Court. Right now, this incident is still under investigation.
And on the near north side, 3 people were shot on Boulevard Place near Crown Hill Cemetery. Police were called to the area around 9:30 last night. Not a lot of details are known right now, but we do know someone fired gunshots into the back of a home from an alley. 2 women and 1 man were shot. All 3 were taken to the hospital but are expected to recover.
And on the city's northeast side, a homicide investigation is now underway. This after a man was found dead in his apartment. Neighbors called police to the complex near 62nd and Post Road after hearing a disturbance. Police say the 40-year-old victim was found suffering from some sort of trauma. Investigators on the scene told RTV6 there were no signs of forced entry. Right now, they are working to find out how many people were inside the apartment when this incident took place. If you have any information about any of these crimes, you can leave an anonymous tip to help police by calling Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS. That's 317-262-8477.
Election day is less than a week away, and RTV6 is getting answers to some important questions that will help you cast a more informed vote. With record-breaking homicides over the past few years, we asked all three mayoral candidates, Democratic incumbent Joe Hogsett, Republican challenger Jim Merritt, and Libertarian candidate Douglas McNaughton, what they would do about IMPD's staffing levels.
We've got to stop the idea that people don't want to be a police officer in Indianapolis. The mayor of Indianapolis has to have the back of not only the chief, but as well as the person on the line, the police officer.
The truth is, in the last 4 years, we have probably hired in excess of 300 police officers. But we also have an older police force, and when they retire or other forms of attrition come into play, that's why we talk about increasing IMPD by a net number of 150 additional officers.
Whether they're understaffed because they don't have enough people, or if they're understaffed because there are city policies causing things like the homicide rate to go up, all those things need to be addressed.
Election day is November 5th. You can vote early through Monday.
Time right now is 5:35. On the ballot down in Johnson County, a Center Grove referendum for the school is asking for nearly $25 million in taxpayer money over the next 8 years. That funding would go towards safety and security efforts like additional school resource officers, upgraded alert and camera systems, and more counselors and mental health staff. Now, we spoke to people on both sides of that proposal.
Hopefully the community can understand the importance of this, and I know that it's a big ask, and we just hope they take a step back and look at it from a parenting, side of things, and maybe kind of do what's best for all of the students here within the community.
I don't feel like a single one of us should have to pay more on our property taxes just because the school needs more money to hire social workers and counselors if the money is somewhere else.
Center Grove is one of 5 school districts in central Indiana with a referendum on the ballot.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and 2 local organizations are working to change the conversation on the subject that can sometimes be uncomfortable for some. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning. Kelsey, what is the end goal for these groups?
Well, Meredith, the end goal is to change the way we as a community talk about domestic violence. They want that topic to be unstigmatized. Now, this panel was hosted last night right off the heels of a domestic violence situation in Lawrence yesterday afternoon, where police say a man seriously injured his ex-wife in a shooting at a gas station. The suspect was later found by police and had taken his own life. The conversation was put together by Auntie Mame's Child Development Center and Indiana Healthy Marriage and Family Coalition. They want women, men, and children to know that domestic violence is a complex issue that affects everyone involved. And if anyone watching this takes one thing away from their message, Marta Bell wants it to be this.
Nobody deserves to live an inhumane life, and abuse is an inhumane treatment. And reach out, because you can't get help. People cannot help you if they don't know that you need help.
Their message to victims of domestic violence is it's okay to talk about abuse with someone you trust. And if you don't have someone close to you that you can talk to, or if you need help getting out of an abusive relationship, you can reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Their number is 800-799-7233. You can also find help and resources on the Indiana Coalition Against Domestic Violence website. We've got all of that linked for you on the RTV6 News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Time right now is 5:37. My Vision, My Power. That's the theme of this season's Steward Speakers series. Steward Speakers is dedicated to engaging the community with America's best and brightest leaders. Last night's talk at Warren Performing Arts Center focused on financial literacy in the African American community.
Our brains have been hardwired to connect happiness to spending. We have to disconnect happiness in the brain from spending and connect it to investing and saving.
Panelists included Rev Run of Run DMC and Lauren Simmons, the youngest and only current full-time female trader at the New York Stock Exchange. RTV6 is a proud partner of the Stewart Speaker Series. That next event is scheduled for February 26th, and it features Ricky Smiley.
Anne will be dancing into the holidays. The art installation known as Anne Dancing will make her return to Mass Ave just in time for Halloween. The new electronic art structure is scheduled to be installed this morning at approximately 8:15. Anne was installed more than a decade ago, but has been shut down since May. The Indianapolis Cultural Trail raised more than $200,000 to pay for updates and repairs. Organizers say the new Anne will have the same look and those famous dance moves.
And speaking of Halloween, it's looking like weather could get in the way of your trick-or-treating plans. So public safety leaders suggest that you come up with a plan B for your family. Whether it's trunk-or-treating or other indoor Halloween activities, you should try to find something tomorrow night that's out of the elements. And if you do trick-or-treat outside, here's one reliable option for you. Every single Indianapolis Fire Department will be giving out treats from 6 until 8 p.m. on Halloween night. If the weather looks to ease up or you're going to tough it out, you do want to go out there trick-or-treating with the kiddos. We do have a list of area trick-or-treat times up right now. It's on the RTV6 mobile app and also at the IndyChannel.com. So you'll want to plan ahead today for those Halloween costumes tomorrow, Todd. And today you'll want to grab the umbrella, right?
Well, Puddle Ducky here is going to be pretty busy today and into tomorrow. So Puddle Ducky be a good costume to have. Just make sure you have a warm costume. That's going to be the biggest thing, I think, tomorrow evening. But as Lauren mentioned, to first things first, let's talk about today, because today is a Storm Team 6 alert day as well. Do you need the umbrella? Absolutely. This morning, this afternoon, this evening, you definitely need to have it. It won't be raining at all times, but it will have the potential to rain at any time. So you notice the showers right now starting to overspread the area. Here's all the rain back off to our southwest. That is going to be heading in our direction throughout the day today. As far as the rain intensity goes, it's not going to be heavy rain. It's going to be kind of moderate and then fairly steady once it does rain in your neighborhood. So it's not a repeat of Saturday, but definitely a wet day for us. We'll talk more about Halloween in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Thousands have been evacuated as wildfires in California continue to grow. Coming up, why firefighters say there's potential for more disaster.
And a new perk is being added for Amazon Prime members, what the shipping giant is offering to help you with your groceries.
And here at 541, we are planning out your commute. Looking pretty good at this hour. Here's a live look on the Near East Side, I-70 at Rural Street and Keystone Avenue. Lots of headlights out this way as traffic is picking up as we get closer to 6 o'clock this morning, but everything is moving along just fine. We'll keep you updated on any issues on the other side of the break. Stick around. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. Welcome back. It is 5:44, and here's a live look at traffic at I-70, a little west of FedEx. You can see traffic here is moving along smoothly in both directions. We'll keep you updated on any delays.
This morning, the extreme fire threat in California continues to grow. Areas of the state are bracing for what could be the strongest wind since 2007, and firefighters say today's conditions have a, quote, potential for disaster. Near Los Angeles, the Getty Fire has already charred hundreds of acres and burned 12 homes near some of the most expensive real estate in the country. At last check, it was only 15% contained, giving no relief to the thousands of people who have been evacuated.
Here is where the 6-month-old sleeps with my mom right now. Both of my grandma sleep at this couch that pulls out into a bed.
Meanwhile, in Northern California, winds are picking up where many of the 4,500 firefighters are working 24-hour shifts, battling the Kincaid fire in Sonoma County. That fire has spread to about 120 square miles and forced more than 150,000 people to flee their homes.
At 5:45, a doorbell camera capturing this terrifying moment as a plane came crashing down into a New Jersey neighborhood. The Cessna aircraft crashed into one home, causing it to burst into flames on Tuesday morning. No one was in the home at the time of the crash, but the pilot was killed. The fire spread to 2 other homes next door. No one else was hurt. Officials say the plane was going to land at an airport 5 miles away when it crashed. The NTSB is still investigating what caused this plane to go down.
A former former Trump campaign advisor who served 2 weeks in prison for lying to the FBI is now running for Congress. George Papadopoulos filed paperwork Tuesday to run as a Republican in California's 25th district. The district's current representative, Democrat Katie Hill, resigned on Sunday. Papadopoulos pleaded guilty in 2017 to lying to the FBI about his contact with people tied to Russia during the 2016 election campaign. He cooperated with investigators and got the 14 days instead of 6 months. He was released last December.
After a large recall on Johnson & Johnson baby powder, the company says tests did not find any asbestos in the product. The baby powder was pulled off shelves earlier this month after the FDA says that tests found low levels of asbestos in one bottle. Johnson & Johnson now says that yesterday that the third-party labs tested the same bottle and other samples dozens of times and did not find anything. The FDA has not responded but said earlier that it stood by its testing. At 5:47 on a Storm Team 6 alert day, we want to check in with Todd Clausen.
Yeah, we're in alert mode, Lauren, because of the rain that's going to impact your day. You need to grab the umbrella as you walk out the door here this morning, or the rain jacket. Here's the current situation on Storm Team 6 radar. Some light showers in and around the metro area. Some of the heavier showers this morning have been in northern locations, Monticello, Logansport to Peru. Some spotty showers near Kokomo. Not a whole lot going on over in the Muncie area as of yet, but you notice all this rain is streaming in this northeasterly direction, and it extends from Michigan through Indiana all the way basically down towards the Gulf Coast. So there's a lot of moisture here to deal with that is going to continue to make its way through our area during the course of the day today. So let me focus on today first, and then we'll get into Halloween in detail in just a second for you. Scattered showers this morning becomes a little more widespread as we get mid-morning into the afternoon hours, and then as we continue into the afternoon, the rain will still be falling in many locations. There could be some pockets of what we'll call moderate rainfall, but for the most part, this is generally going to be a light but steady rain when it's falling. And then we do get a break, I think, later on this evening if you want to get out and about. It's still going to be kind of damp. It's definitely going to be dreary with some spotty showers around, but we probably lose the more steady or widespread rain this evening, only for more rain to make its way in our direction as we push towards the midnight hour. So as you break down today, temperatures are in the 40s going up to the low 50s. It's going to feel cooler than that, though, with the clouds, the breeze that picks up, and also the rain that will be falling. Now, tomorrow, obviously, is Halloween. We've been talking a lot about it. As far as the precipitation goes, it's more widespread through the first half of the day than the trick-or-treating hours. So that's at least good. The bad news is the temperatures fall throughout the entire day. So it might be even more unpleasant later on in the evening hours compared to the first half of the day when the rain is falling. But here we are tomorrow at 4:30, pretty widespread rain activity across the area. You notice the snow inching closer and closer into central Indiana. And then eventually, as we get into the afternoon and evening hours, here's the trick-or-treating hours. Some rain showers, some snow showers, maybe a few ice pellets as that colder air starts to make its way into the area. So tomorrow night is not going to be pleasant for trick-or-treating. Whether it's raining or not, you will all be dealing with these bone-chilling wind chills on Halloween. The winds are going to start to pick up, and they're going to gust probably up to about 30 to 40 miles per hour. That's going to put wind chill values in the 20s. So if you are going out, you're going to have to dress very, very warm. And then as that colder air flurries start to mix into the equation, your actual temperatures are going to be in the 30s as those snow showers come in. And wind chill values, though, obviously, as I just mentioned, are going to be colder than that. And speaking of cold, the first freeze is going to happen in central Indiana for this winter season. On Friday, temperatures all the way down to 22 to 27 degrees. Friday, we may have to keep an eye on the potential of maybe some of that moisture from Thursday refreezing on the roadways. We won't see anything falling from the sky on Friday, but there could be some slick spots. Don't forget to fall back Saturday night into Sunday, but the weekend will be dry with plenty of sunshine.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We want to plan out your commute right now, and it's looking pretty good around the metro area. You can see the interstates are green, no major crashes to slow you down. So let's take you down here to the south side. Planning out your drive heading northbound on State Road 37 from down here at State Road 144 near the Bargersville area. It's a 13-minute drive up to the I-465 ramps at Harding Street, no issues. Looking over here, starting at Whiteland Road, hopping on northbound I-65 there in Johnson County, taking you up all the way to the North Split in downtown. It's an 18-minute drive, so everything there is traveling up to speed. Let's take a live look right now to our northeast, I-465 and I-69. The ramp system in that area looking pretty good. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for any issues, and we'll keep you updated.
Whether you like your yogurt fruity or plain, a new study says it could help prevent cancer. The study from Vanderbilt University found that eating a cup of yogurt a day could reduce the risk of developing lung cancer. It analyzed data from more than 1 million adults in the U.S., Europe, and Asia. Researchers found that people who ate yogurt every day and had a high-fiber diet lowered the chances of lung cancer by more than 30%. That's compared to a group who didn't eat yogurt at all and had the least amount of fiber. Results were significant for people who've never smoked and were consistent across all genders and ethnicities.
Amazon's delivering food right to your door, and if you're a Prime member, it's now part of the package. Members used to have to pay an extra monthly subscription fee of $14.99 for its Amazon Fresh delivery service. Well, that fee was on top of the $119 annual membership cost. The Amazon Fresh 2-hour grocery delivery is now only available in 20 cities, including Indianapolis. The Circle City was just added to the Amazon Fresh services last month. The delivery has a minimum requirement of $35. Amazon hopes their price reduction will put pressure on their largest rival, Walmart.
The Washington Nationals live to play another day after the break. Their win that is taking the World Series to a Game 7. We'll be right back.
Fitting at the Good Feet store.
Well, the Washington Nationals came out on top last night in Game 6 of the World Series against the Houston Astros.
Now the teams are forced into a tie-breaking Game 7. The Nationals won 7-2 last night, thanks in large part to third baseman Anthony Rendon. He came through with a home run and 5 RBIs on the night. For the first time in Major League Baseball history, only the visiting teams have won all 6 games. Game 7 will be held at 8 tonight in Houston. If the Nationals win, this would be their first ever World Series title. If the Astros win, it will be their second in the last 3 years.
Well, one fan got to be at his second game of the series after famously blocking a home run ball with his chest in Game 5. He wanted to catch the ball as a souvenir, but he also didn't want to drop one of his drinks, so he stopped it with his chest. The Nationals fan did end up ditching his drinks and scrambling for the home run ball. He was invited back for last night's game and was given a T-shirt and a Bud Light beer.
And did you guys see the commercial with him now?
No.
It is the replay of him attempting to catch that ball with the 2 beers in his hand, and it says, "Not all heroes wear capes." And then he, bounces off his chest, or gloves. I thought that was great marketing.
Well, he could have bought a lot of beer if he would have caught that ball. Yeah. But, hey.
He's got it.
Still got it, though.
Yep.
That's so funny. All right, it is a Storm Team 6 alert day. Let's check in with Todd.
Yeah, we have rain in the forecast for the day today, off and on from start to finish. You always need to have the rain gear handy. Temperatures are in the 40s. They'll hold pretty steady. But here's the rain that is overspreading central Indiana this morning, and there's a lot more to come. So throughout the day today, temperatures don't do a whole lot. About 50 degrees with periods of rain. Up to a ½ inch of rain will be possible throughout the day today. But more rain is in store for us on Halloween, where we can even mix in some snow. More on that forecast when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 5:57. Stay with us. We'll be right back.